And welcome back to High Stakes MMA. Here to do the recap for Fight Night at the Apex, Reyes versus Yuri Porchovich. It was a great card. It was a good for the bets. We aced the best bets. The parlay that we told you guys to go on hit. The underdogs were smacking. The straight bets was going. We both made some change. It was a pretty fun card. A lot of great fights. What'd you think about it?
Yeah, no, it was good. It was pretty much how we called it. There was some a couple blunders, like with that draw with Kutalaba and Jacoby, something you definitely couldn't see in the future. Although I do like those, dollar draw bets sometimes, but your boy wasn't sprinkling them this time, and didn't think that was going to happen. So yeah, just going up the card. We had Felipe Colares with taking on Luke Sanders. That fight was pretty good, man. I had Colares in that one. He did do pretty much what I thought he was, which was going to eat a lot of punches in the beginning and pretty much have Luke gas on his face, just pretty much wear himself out trying to finish him. And that's pretty much what happened. And in the second round, Colares almost got to finish himself. He couldn't put him away. That's something that man definitely has to work on, and definitely something to take note of in the future. But with Sanders, he was stepping up in weight. Definitely was a smaller man. His punches didn't look like they had the same pop on them like they did at the lower weight class. And then Michailidis on the next fight. What'd you think of that one?
Yeah, the Michailidis one was good, and that one, basically went as we thought as well. I kind of thought he was going to be more dominant than he was. KB, he just didn't put out enough output for me. He was he was just more 1-2 in it than leg kick, and I didn't see enough combos. He had to use that length a little more than he did, but Michailidis did what we expected. He went in there and got the win all 3 rounds. It was a pretty decent fight, but that was one of the mainstays on our parlays. So that was your straight bet, I believe, and that worked out.
Yeah, no, I had him. Buller definitely held up more than I thought he would. So I guess props to him. But I mean, he just looks like he's one of those guys that's good in the gym and freezes under the big lights. Going to the next fight with Luke Bunmi versus Sam Hughes. I did have Sam Hughes as a possible bet for an underdog.
Yeah,
but man, that's exactly why. Because it's if you clinch against the cage, eat up some time, steal a few rounds, that's definitely something that can happen. So it was a split decision. If you were holding Luke Bunmi ticket, you were definitely sweating it. So yeah, that's why I really don't like to bet those. But yeah, she did come through at the end of the day.
Yeah, you did pick her as your live dog of the night, and that's exactly what she was. She was a live dog. She didn't get the win, but man, she really played it tough. I mean, I had Luke Bunmi on a lot of my parlays, and I was sweating it, So, but she did squeak it out as she should. It was the right decision. But Sam Page, she did impress. And next fight up, which was my dog of the night, was T.J. Brown against Kai Kamaka. That could have went either way. Kamaka definitely, you could say he did enough to get the win. But T.J. was in there too, and he was giving it to him as well. I think the takedowns is what made the difference in it. But we did cash in on that underdog pick as well.
Yeah, he was definitely threatening more with the subs, but on the feet he was just getting tagged up. I kind of thought, we were gifted one on that one, so... sometimes the ball bounces your favor, and sometimes it doesn't. So I'll take it when it does, and won't complain about it when it does. Next up, we had Luana Carolina versus Poliana Potello. That one was, kind of a stinker, to be honest. I didn't really like it too much. I really didn't put too much stock in this one to begin with. So
right, it was nothing where neither of us was real high on in that fight. We both did pick Paulina to get the win, and she very well may have got I mean, that was a close fight. Another one that could have won either way. But it did go Carolina. But we didn't have much stock in that one. It was probably the worst fight on the card. Next one up was Randa Marcos and Aljamain Pinheiro. That one there. She took the eye poke, toughed it out, kept going. She's bleeding from the eye. Don't get me wrong. I mean, it looked like the girl got rocked. I don't think she was concussed, but I think she could have kept going. Ronda looked ready to go, and she was starting to come on. You could tell, but who knows what would happen? She was getting slung around too. Old girl, you could tell, had much more power. On Pinheiro.
She was getting lit up though. Randa, after that eye poke, she came in with some aggression.
She came in hot.
She was definitely landing. So I think Pinheiro felt that and definitely wanted to get out of there. I mean, say what you want. She made the smarter move. I mean, the business move, but that's definitely if you were holding one of those tickets for Randa, that's
that was a tough one. I definitely think that hopefully they don't cut her. I mean, they give her another shot off of that. I think
should have been a no contest. More. I think I don't know how.
I wish it was, but it is what it is. Next one was a great fight, Merab versus Cody Stamann. Cody actually did a lot better than I expected that he would do as well. But Merab, he pretty much had it in hand majority of the fight. But Cody did push it. He did push the pace. That over was golden. We both had Merab, as our best bet in our parlays, and that one pulled off as well.
Yeah, Cody was definitely on his game as far as his offensive wrestling, and on Merab, keeping Merab on his back against the cage and keeping him on his back foot. Towards the later rounds, Merab did open up more, and that was able to make him find his way to get those clinch takedowns and clinch opportunities on Cody. It was really good, man. He pretty much did what we thought he was, and it was that's why you picked Merab. And that going into the next fight, we had Sean Strickland versus Christoph Jocko. That was the last fight on our parlay. So yeah, Sean went in there, handled business, pretty much clean sweep across the board. Jocko really didn't have anything for him. It was that was Strickland's fight all day.
Yeah, he was getting tagged up the entire fight. With Jocko's winning, he's got to be leading the dance. He's got to be mixing in some takedowns, and there was none of that happening. Sean looked crisp. He was on point. He never looked like he was in trouble at all. It was just a great fight, and that was a great win for us both. Next fight up was Cutelaba and Jacoby. That was a good one, man. It started off kind of like how I said in the prediction, where I thought Cutelaba was going to use his wrestling more. I thought he needed to do that, especially against someone like Jacoby. He did and set the pace, but once the guy started to gas, there we go, and Jacoby started coming on and made it a tough fight. I don't know about the draw. I still kind of think Cutelaba won, but you can make a case for Jacoby. We've seen worse decisions.
Yeah, I mean, in order for Jacoby, or for them to get a split, Jacoby or Cutelaba would have had a 2 rounds. So after the 10-8 in the first round, so I don't see him winning the second or third round at all. So that was really kind of you could say a robbery, but I mean that's a draw. At least it's a push if you had any money on it. But Cutelaba went in there, put him against the cage, landed a lot of those little short elbows. Had him in trouble. I don't know. I really don't know how much trouble he actually did have him in, but the referee was talking to him and made it look like he was close to a stoppage. So could have got him out of there, but eventually gassed and just stood there for the 3 rounds and got beat up. Next fight we had Giga Jikadze versus Cub. And that fight was over in a blink, man. 60 seconds, 63 seconds or so?
Yeah, it was a quick one.
Quick liver kick, and yeah, it was over, man. Not really much to talk about on that
one.
I
had some. I made some good money off of Giga on that one. I did like him going into that fight. I mean, really, this one really made me excited to see him step up in competition. I love to see him on Twitter calling everybody out, and he wants to smoke. And I can't wait to see him back in there. I wish they would have threw him in this coming up weekend against Cerrone. I thought that would have been cool, but it is what it is. The Cub, tough dude. You can't hate on Cub. That was a perfectly placed liver shot. Put him down. It was a good win.
Yeah, I didn't even really get to see the fight though. That's the only thing I was a little disappointed about. You just it's one of those things where you just get your light shut off real quick.
In the main event, that was a doozy, man. That was a good fight with Dominic Reyes and Prochazka. Man, I think that guy's the real deal, man. And thing about Dom is there was no quitting him. He kept coming back, man. But he would get rocked. You'd think he's out of it, and then boom, counter, boom, coming back. He'll just come back swarming. But that elbow landed perfectly and put him out. But Yuri was winning the fight hands down the entire time. But Dom was Dom was no pushover in there. So, I mean, it's good to see. Good to see Yuri going there with that kind of performance because he's getting some more hype behind him, and he brings a little bit of excitement to that division, which I like to see. I'm excited to see that guy.
Yeah, I don't know what that man's on, but he's definitely on some. Whatever they're on, he's on. They're not testing for because that man, he was in there doing some crazy shit, man. Yeah, but man, props to him. He's definitely exciting. Definitely want to see more of him in the future. That spinning elbow was crazy, man. I did hear an interview where he said that he admitted he got knocked out for a second with that up kick, so he was able to come back through that. So it shows he got some can go through some adversity and still come out on top. So good to know about him going forward, definitely.
Yeah, and he's got those. He's just so unorthodox, and he's got those crazy like shovel punches that he comes from nowhere, and they're so fast, and he's so powerful. I think him and Jan would be a crazy good fight. I don't know if he's gonna get one more before that fight, or I don't want to count out Teixeira just in case Glover pulls it off. But I think Jan and Yuri are on a collision course, and I think that should be a banger. But overall, it was a really good night. Good night for our bets. Ended up making some money, so it worked out well, and we're hoping to get a repeat here in the next fight night.